Good morning, everybody. Comedian Bob Marley here. Guess what? It's Super Bowl Sunday. Let's do this thing. My wife just came downstairs. She goes, guess what? I got a veggie platter. I said, what? A veggie platter? Do you want me to get beat up? I'm Irish. I got guys named Fitzy and Sully coming over. You can't get a veggie platter. She goes, well, what do you want? I don't know, some kind of meat, sausage, loin, pork. I need a leg of something. I can't walk downstairs at halftime going, does anybody want hummus? Super Bowl Sunday, let's do this thing, man!
Weeks of summer training, 4 preseason games, a rocky beginning to a 16 regular season game schedule, prime position in the playoffs, a controversy involving the AFC Championship game, and it's all come down to this. The University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, which is pretty foggy right now, site of Super Bowl 49, the Seattle Seahawks and your New England Patriots. Good Super Bowl morning, everybody. I'm Lee Goldberg with Pat Callahan. Johnny Mailer will join us in just a minute.
You know, this reminds me a little bit of Brigadoon, the mythical Scottish town that emerges from the fog just once every 100 years. You've got guys around here who've told us this morning they've lived here for decades, have never seen anything like
50
this.
years, a gentleman told me this morning, he's never seen fog like this, but on Super Bowl Sunday, here it is.
Trust us, the stadium is there. It's gray and the fog is gray, but it is there. You've seen it all week. And they're blaming the Seattle team and fans for bringing fog here, so that's a good thing.
And it became a story this morning because the roof of the dome was open this morning, and they were worried that with the fog rolling in, the condensation might affect the turf, so they quickly closed the roof so that that pristine piece of grass that we've talked about all week will be ready to go when game time gets here.
Well, coming up in this half hour, we're going to meet some Mainers who are not just here in Arizona for one Super Bowl. One man lives here full-time and has a pool that all Patriots fans would envy. We'll meet a woman who spends the winters here, makes a pretty good living selling lobster rolls. And what Super Bowl will be complete without a visit with Kennebunk native Don Chrisman, who is going to be attending his 49th Super Bowl today. He has been to every one of them.
Oh, he's fantastic. Can't wait to talk with him. Now, this is the Super Bowl, right? This is the biggest sporting event in America for sure, arguably one of the biggest in the entire world. But what about for the players? I mean, it's a big moment, it's a huge magnitude event, but it is just a football game. So how do you kind of stay in the moment when it's a game like this? We talked to them, and here's what they said.
Well, I mean, I've been playing a lot of football lately, so you just kind of take it as another game, and you focus in on the game itself, and you don't really look at anything else beyond that. You know, the hype of the Super Bowl, and you know the events and the media and the people. You just kind of just take that and tune it all out and focus in on what you have to do, and that's play well to capitalize on this opportunity.
Well, you're right. You're right. It's not just another game. You know, it's the biggest game of our season. But truthfully, when the ball's kicked off, it's like another game. So, you know, you just rely on the experience that you've had to be able to, you know, temper the emotions and enthusiasm, and then it's an emotional game, so you got to let it all hang out when you get out there. But it's going to be you know, it's going to be a tough game. You know, we're prepared for that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to prepare, do the same thing we've been doing, you know, for 22, 23 games, and just don't be crazy. I mean, it's just a huge game. At the same time, you got to go into it as just a regular game that we've been doing for the whole season, and just execute that to the best of our ability, and we'll be all right.
It's a Super Bowl, I think, all the way up until kickoff, and then it's just another football game. You know, you want to prepare, you know, like you're playing in a football game, but also you want to prepare enough knowing that this is the last game of the year. There is no more next week, so you want to really give it everything you got. But, you know, once that kickoff happens, you know, nothing special happens in the game. It's just football.
No surprise that a lot of the secrets to success for the Patriots have come around their quarterback, number 12, Tom Brady. This will be his 6th Super Bowl. That will be the most ever by a starting quarterback in a Super Bowl. Now, when he first started, remember, they played the first 3 that they were in. They won all 3 of them. He was the MVP twice.
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
Then,
3 out of 4, right.
Right. So since then, they've now lost the last 2. He's kind of struggled. His legacy reputation a little bit on the line today. He needs to perform well. It's been a while.
And I think one of the things in his favor is that he plays very well well, as the Patriots team does as a whole, with a chip on his shoulder. And he's got a big one. This whole Deflategate thing has been an embarrassment to him, people questioning his integrity, and even his boyhood idol, Joe Montana, kind of threw him under the bus this week saying, no, if it happened, it's because Tom wanted it. So I have a feeling Tom's going to come up fired up, and as long as he performs the way he has in the last couple of months, they should have no problem. No turnovers, they'll have a good day.
Johnny Mailer joins us now. Johnny, being from Philadelphia, not as growing up a fan of the Patriots, what is the perception of the Patriots, of Tom Brady nationally? We know how we feel about him around here.
Right. Well, you know, people love to hate him, and it's because of how good he is. It's that jealousy that we didn't have somebody like that quarterbacking our team. I know I can tell you what fellow Eagles fans were hoping was that something did come out of the whole Deflategate thing, because then maybe 10 years ago, Super Bowl 39, maybe that's the Eagles Super Bowl instead. Maybe they did something wrong in that game that we didn't know about. Maybe they gave something to McNabb, made him throw up on the field or something like that. But that's the thing. But at the same time, everyone knows how good he is. I think it's just that jealousy and that love to hate him type of, thought going through people's minds.
And for those of you scoring at home, we've got the players and we've got the coach in the middle.
Coach Callahan. And we're ready. We have a game plan.
On Team News
all the
Center.
X's and O's, maybe a couple of surprises up our sleeve too.
Just back to that, the distractions of the past couple of weeks. We were fortunate enough to talk with Tom Brady's father at the Super Bowl against the Giants in Indianapolis. I spent about an hour with him. Super nice man. And we were going to try to catch up with him this week, but he actually said, out of respect for not wanting to sound bitter or mean, he's very hurt. The whole family really hurt and insulted, really, by the accusations that their son may have done something wrong. So he politely declined, but it was interesting how it's affected the whole family to even think that Tom Brady would do anything that's not in the spirit of this game.
Yeah, but experience may out here, and I think the Tom Brady's vast experience winning and losing Super Bowls is going to be to his advantage today. Well, as Johnny mentioned, and as we all know, outside of New England, the Patriots are not really all that popular. But as we have seen over and over again this week, Patriots Nation can flower here in the desert. And we spent some time with some Arizona fans yesterday as they had a day-long rally for their favorite team. Toso's Sports Bar and Grill in Phoenix is a safe zone for Patriots fans. It's family-friendly. And there are no Sons of Anarchy in this bar, just Sons of Bill Belichick.
Let's go Patriots!
Toso's is the official headquarters of the New England Patriots Fan Club of Arizona. And today it's the site of a day-long pep rally for Pats fans.
Bring it on! Bring it on!
There's a carnival feeling in the air.
Ah, nectar of the gods.
And Boston beers available for the faithful. The club has about 350 dues-paying members, and for 17 years has been a place for transplanted New Englanders to find kindred spirits. Judy Jenkins moved here from Maine in 1998 and stumbled upon the club.
Totally by accident, landed across it on Facebook. I was clicking around, I was bored, couldn't sleep, and I just went, oh, no way. And I passed this bar every day on the way to work and I had no idea.
Claire Anton is from Nashua, New Hampshire, and lived in Maine for 35 years. She loves game days when club members gather.
When you have a game and you're all together watching the game, it feels like you're at Foxborough. You really feel like you're at Foxborough because, they scream out the downs and they scream out the touchdowns, and we just have a wonderful time.
The club is about more than having a good time on a Sunday afternoon. They also do good with their raffles and auctions.
We're trying to help out the Patriots charities. I mean, we've been doing it all season, and I think we're going to give them a hefty check at the end of the day.
But ultimately, it's the camaraderie, being with people who get you, and sticking together against those who would fire upon Patriot Nation.
When I moved out here 8 years ago, I was shocked to find out how many New England Patriots fans actually live here and didn't even know that the club existed. It's amazing to have that back home, especially because we're the bad guys. We're always going to be the bad guys. They ain't us, so they hate us.
I always wondered what it would be like to be the villain, because when you're growing up like the Yankees, you just hate them. They're the bad guys because they win all the time. So I get it. I understand how people
feel. They never
feel.
used to be that way. I mean, the Patriots never won anything, so they were the underdog.
Let us enjoy this ride while it lasts.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, he's the only man in Maine and one of only 3 in the whole world who has been to every Super Bowl game.
This will bring us to our first trivia question of the day, and it is this. Don't look it up online, okay? Where was the first Super Bowl held? What 2 teams played? And who won? The answers after the break.
Molly here, back at it. Another update. This just in. The Indianapolis Colts are now saying that the New England Patriots are responsible for Charlie Brown not being able to kick the ball all those years. They say that somehow Lucy was in cahoots with Coach Bill Belichick. Ah, ha, ha! Woo! Super Bowl Sunday! Let's do this thing, Maine! Yahoo!
Who expects Bob Marley to be breaking news like that? I mean, no other sports media has covered the idea that somehow the Patriots are responsible for Charlie Brown's misery.
No, he has a vision, an issue, whatever, a fine line, to see things that people don't. And he's been this way since we went to high school together a long time ago.
Vision is the word we'll go with here.
I'm going to go with issue.
We're back in Glendale, Arizona, where the fog is very slowly starting to lift around University of Phoenix Stadium, where Super Bowl 49 is going to be played today.
All right, well, you've had some time to think about it, so here's the answer to our first trivia question of the day about the first Super Bowl ever played. If you said the Kansas City Chiefs took on the Green Bay Packers, they played at the LA Coliseum, and that the Packers won, good job. You win a year's supply of turtle wax. Oh, no, wait.
Different show.
We don't do that. Speaking of that first Super Bowl way back in 1967, I know somebody who remembers it, because he was there, Don Chrisman of Kennebunk. He is in the elite group of the Never Missed a Super Bowl Club. There are only 3 of them left for fans that have been to every single game. Larry Jacobson is one of those other fans, and the two of them generally travel together. I caught up with both of them earlier this week.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of made a pact with myself and the guys that I'd make it to 50. They say they're going to go, even if they go in a medevac helicopter. I was thinking of quitting at 50. And they're lobbying against it. So we'll see what next year brings.
Well, I'm going to call him in February of 2016 and say, hey, Don, I'm making reservations for Houston. Do you want me to make reservations? And by the way, while we're there, we're going to go up and see the George H.W. Bush Library at College Station, which is about 60 miles from Houston, and he's always wanted to go there. And I said, oh, okay, I'll go.
NBC flew you guys out to Los Angeles, to the Coliseum, to go back to where you originally sat for Super Bowl I.
That's correct.
What was that like for you?
Oh, it was very, very neat. I mean, the Coliseum has been updated, and it took a while. We had to get some help from the manager, because they've added 15 rows and dropped the field. But we found our original seats, and, well, obviously I think of the people that I was with.
I went to Super Bowl I because I wanted to impress a girl and had a date. So we flew from San Francisco to LA. We went to the game, had a brief dinner, and then came home that night. The whole package cost less than $100, or say $100, give or take $5.
Could you imagine watching the Super Bowl on television?
Well, someday it's going to happen, I guess. I hope. I'm trying to run that through, and every now and then it gets scary. I can picture myself on Friday getting on a plane and rushing myself to Super Bowl City.
Don and the other members of the Never Missed a Super Bowl Club will be featured by NBC on the pregame show later on today, so stay tuned for that. He's going to get some more national exposure, and he said to me, Pat,
he's a star.
He feels like he's one of those one-hit wonders. People care about him for about 10 days, and then they forget until the next Super Bowl.
Well, he's a Mainer we expected to find at the Super Bowl because he does go to all of them. But there are so many people from Maine. Clearly, people like to retire or find new jobs in a place where it's sunny and warm, they tell us.
Mostly, except for whenever I come here, apparently.
But some of them have been here for many years, and some of them are making a decent living by bringing a piece of Maine to Phoenix. And Johnny Mailer is here to tell us about that.
Yeah, it's been really great to see all those Mainers who are now living in Arizona. But the one thing that stands out with this woman is that she actually brought a lot of Maine with her. So I now introduce to you at home the woman known around here as the Lobster Lady.
Are we ready? Yay!
Up to an hour before it opens, the Lobster Lady has a line waiting to order something from her Lobster Shack-style menu.
All right, Richard, there's a traditional Maine style. Connecticut style is coming right up.
The woman with the claws, that's Diana Santos-Spago, who hails from Isla Ho. Working alongside her family, the truck is more like
a cozy little home here.
A cozy, crustacean-filled home that has been feeding the greater Phoenix area for years.
Oh, there's times where I'm sure, I don't think that I get stressed out, but The look on Ross's face. So.
It all started when these Mainers were visiting relatives here.
We just saw that there was hardly anything in the way of really great seafood, and lobster was practically non-existent. So, you know, being lobster fishing family, we just thought, what better thing to do than to bring Maine lobster to the desert.
Now they split their time between the Pine Tree State and the Grand Canyon State.
We get, you know, the best of both worlds weather-wise, and then we get the craziness here in Phoenix, and then we go back to Idaho, and it's a much more relaxed feeling there.
And this lobster is the real deal, 100% Maine caught by the family itself.
We were in September, we went up to Maine, and we went to Red Eats up there, and we thought it was comparable, very good. Good lobster.
The ocean isn't here, but the food certainly reminded me of it, yeah.
That's like a pretty big compliment, I'd say.
And with the Patriots in town playing in the Super Bowl, they're seeing more and more visitors from the Northeast.
My phone has been ringing nonstop. We've had a lot of people calling us from away that want to come catch up with us, which we think is awesome.
We are rooting for Seattle.
Okay. This is Seattle fans getting lobster from Patriot fans.
Yes, yeah.
Now, when this story hit our Facebook, it just kind of just blew up. People saying, "Oh, I know who that is," or trying to connect to people that they know in Arizona, saying, "You need to go try that out." It was amazing to see how quickly that all transpired.
It's great to see.
The beauty of social media, right?
Yeah, that's true. And of course, we've been getting a lot of great photos on social media from all of you, from tattoos and makeup to adorable dogs in jerseys posing for the camera. We've seen plenty of cute little Patriots fans as well. You've also sent in photos of your Patriots gear and your snacks. You can join our Super Bowl experience and conversation online. Use the hashtags #OneMoreMakes4 and Pat's Selfie to share photos of you and your game day gear and pictures of your Super Bowl parties. You can also email them to patriotsnationpics@WCSH6.com or patriotsnationpics@WLBZ2.com. We will be live tweeting the game, and you can also follow along with our live game blog on our websites. It's all sorts of options. So many options.
Where do you start? Go to a restaurant.
But do pay attention to the game in the middle of all of that.
Can you repeat those again, please?
No.
Okay. We're going to take a break. When we come back, one Patriots fan who does not mind at all getting all wet. That is after the break. But first, more Super Bowl trivia for you. It's got to do specifically with the Patriots. This is the 8th time the Pats have been in the Super Bowl in their franchise's history, 6th in the last 13 years. Now they've won 3 of them. Our question is, and I kind of already gave away one of the answers, which Patriot player ended up being the MVP in each of those 3 Super Bowl wins? There's a hint, only 2 names on that list. The answer is when we come back.
Miley here, covering for legal. This just in. The Indianapolis Colts are now saying that the New England Patriots are responsible for Marsha Brady breaking her nose. That's right. The Colts say that the Patriots were there the day the ball was thrown and they somehow were involved with this. Oh, my nose. Oh, my nose. Oh, my nose. Guess what? Mom always said, if you don't want to get your nose broken, don't play with the big boys. Come on, Pats! Woo! Yeah, baby! Super Bowl Sunday! Back to you, Fast Eddie Goldberg and Pat Callahan.
I hope that Bobby drinks decaf. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, if he's watching the Brady Bunch, then he's Molly.
Before the break, we asked you to name the 2 Super Bowl MVPs in the 3 Super Bowl victories that the Patriots have had so far.
And if you've been watching the whole half hour, you already know part of the answer because Lee talked about it earlier. Quarterback Tom Brady was selected as the MVP for Super Bowls 36 and 38. And wide receiver Deion Branch was the MVP. The Patriots repeated as Super Bowl champions the following year in Super Bowl 39.
And Johnny remembers that because that was a win over those Eagles where Deion Branch took them to school.
Yeah, and they still want to.
I remember far better than he probably does.
They still want to think, the ball was underinflated.
Oh, yeah, they'll come up with some reason. They're from Philadelphia.
We'd met a Philadelphia fan earlier this week who said, could you guys let us have one, please?
The answer is no.
Maybe next year.
If the Giants are going to give us any, we're not giving any away either.
I guess that's true. Well, we're talking about a lot of the interesting Mainers that we have met here this week, including a man who is not afraid to show his colors and the Patriots logo everywhere he goes. Take a look. Lots of homes in Phoenix have a swimming pool out back, but you'll find only one with this, a tile mosaic of the New England Patriots Flying Elvis logo.
Yeah, that's quite a project. I never did that before.
It's the work of George Russo, who grew up in Westbrook but headed west about 20 years ago.
Working for SD Warren for 15 years, I just, one day after getting married, having kids and stuff, I just decided I didn't want to put up with the cold weather anymore. And it worked out pretty well because I've been lucky enough to always get jobs and work, and I've always been a worker, so I could work, and I could work at McDonald's. It doesn't bother me.
Russo became a contractor, and he does a lot of deck work. He customized his patio by himself, building his cabana, which is decked out with some reminders of Maine and lots of Patriots memorabilia. And the centerpiece is at the bottom of the pool. It was supposed to be a much smaller logo for the side of the pool, but the company in Massachusetts didn't get it made on time.
So they said, well, we got a deal for you. We've got this 7-foot emblem. We're going to give you for the same price as the 3-foot. I said, really? Can you overnight it to me? And they said, absolutely. So that's how it all started. I got this for a great deal. I had my pool drained, so the next day, as soon as it came, I started cutting it out, got a jackhammer and cut it all out and put it in place and sealed it.
And if you think being a hardcore Patriots fan out here in the desert is sometimes lonely or risky, you're right. Arizona Cardinals fans can be rough.
You know, I've gone out, my truck's been, they dump acid on my truck, or they scratch my truck with, or they'll break my antennas off my trucks and stuff. Because I put, you know, in the back of my truck is a big emblem, and if you look, God forbid, I don't want anyone to look over the wall here, because this will probably be knocked down someday.
But proudly wearing his Patriots gear, Russo finds kindred spirits.
Wherever you go, there's good Patriots fans. They'll come right over to you. One thing I love about Patriots fans, they can stay at my house if they want to tonight. I love Patriots fans because they come right up to you. We'll buy drinks for each other. We'll hug and kiss. I don't even have to know your name. Patriots fans are good fans.
You know, he's not kidding. We had never met George Russo before we went to his house this week, and he acted like we were old friends. Want to know if we wanted a beer, which was very friendly. It was a little early in the day, but it was a nice thought, and offered it. We wanted to take a swim. Now, Lee and I really weren't that interested in taking a swim, but Johnny Mailer stepped up because we needed the shot, the underwater shot with the GoPro camera of the logo on the pool. Johnny strapped it to his chest, and how did you enjoy that swim?
Well, you know, that was actually the warmest day of while we've been here, so it actually felt pretty good, but it was, I think he said it was 45 degrees, the water. It was chilly.
And as you said, you get one shot at this.
Yeah, exactly. That was the one chance, and I had trouble breathing going the full length of the pool, but I needed to make it because we needed that shot of the whole floor with the logo. So
we thank
made it work.
We thank George and his wife for their hospitality.
All right, we're getting closer to game time. A couple of notes here. Teddy Bruschi is going to be the honorary captain for the Patriots. This will be the 6th time he's been their honorary captain. They've never lost when Teddy Bruschi's been an honorary captain before a game. That's a good thing.
That can't hurt.
Brian Stork, the center, who was injured a couple of weeks ago, didn't play in the AFC Championship game. He is supposed to start in today's game, and the offensive line will obviously be a huge part of the Patriots' success. And don't forget, as soon as the game is over, after Blacklist and Jimmy Fallon, we will be live on the field with all of our post-game coverage. So stay tuned to the News Center. We will be standing right there on the field where the Patriots have either just won or they've just won.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only option
so
that's acceptable.
So make sure you stay tuned for us, and obviously we'll be all over social media, Twitter, all day long. So now
who's going to win?
Fearless predictions. Everybody's been making them, right? This is not because I've grown up as a fan of the team. I try to separate myself. I've predicted them to lose before. I think they beat Seattle. I think that Tom Brady throws the ball almost 50 times. Patriots 30. Seahawks 24.
I think the only shock would be if this were a blowout for either team. I think it's going to end up close either way. I think, as I said before, the Patriots are playing with a big old chip on their shoulders. It has united them, but they're also really loose. Everyone you talk to, when you talk to the players, those who've seen them through the whole season and spent time with them, say they are loose, they're ready.
I know for a fact Lee hacked my email. I going 31-24 Patriots and go a little bit crazy here. Darrelle Revis in his first Super Bowl, pick 6.
Oh, that would be fun.
I like that.
Well, the fog is lifting. The game's about to start. Thank you for being a part of our pregame coverage and for our entire News Center crew behind the scenes here. We've had an awesome week. We'll see you after the game.
Enjoy game day, folks.